And sometimes it takes you hearing something a few times before it actually sinks in and you realize, oh, this might actually help. What's up everyone, Chelsea O Studio here, and today we are looking at part 2 of my Speed Paint mini-series. Hi everyone, welcome back to the studio. So I am super busy getting ready for the consignment shop and I am so excited. If you've been following my social media, hopefully you have seen some of that journey, and I am so glad that you have been right there with me every step of the way. This is the second video in a series of 3 that we are going to be looking at some speed paints with just some voiceover. So I hope you guys are excited and ready to see this week's speed paint. Let's go ahead and jump into it. For today's print, we are doing a digital Mewtwo piece. This was the print for the month of March for my print club, and I chose to do Mewtwo because it's my husband's favorite Pokemon and March is my husband's birthday. So here I am sketching it all out, looking at reference images, of course, and then onto the line work. And I was so proud of whenever I did this line work. I feel like this is probably the best line work that I have ever actually done. I just really loved the line weight of it and how the legs came out, the quality of the lines, everything like that. I think it all looked super cool. I also got rid of those circular nodules on the side of his legs and just imagine that's where the ankle bone would be. I kind of omitted them. That was just an artist choice. I had a lot of trouble with that stomach area of his. I found it really difficult to do his tummy where it transitions from his tummy to his tail. It's been a long time since I got to draw something like really badass, and I just really enjoyed it. I have sort of a darker side that I don't get to show a lot with my artwork, so this was really fun for me. So now I'm adding color, going in and blocking in the shadows, deciding where my light's going to come from, locking in the colors. At first I tried a more painterly approach, but I wasn't liking it. I felt like the lighting needed to be a lot harsher, so I decided to just go in with my mid-tone and add highlights and shadows, kind of in a blocky way after that. So I'm just roughing in everything right now, following the contours of the form. Had so much trouble with this tail, y'all. I was not ready for how difficult this tail was going to be. But I end up liking it for the most part. Now I move in and start reworking the areas that I just did. I wanted to soften some areas but also leave some harder edges. So I'm cleaning things up, smoothing things out, and just blending in the shadows and highlights. I wasn't really liking the color choice that I had done originally, so I just started playing around with some overlays, but eventually going back to just where I was, and now we're doing some eye details. And then back to more editing of all of the specific areas of shadow and highlight. This was definitely the most time-consuming part of this piece. Going in and just this upper torso area, making sure that all the lighting was where I wanted it and everything was smooth where I wanted it to be smooth and had a harsh edge where I thought it should have a harsh edge. I think overall it worked out really well, and I love just the look of it. I had a lot of trouble with the abdomen. It's been a while since I've drawn abs, especially more masculine ones. I tend to draw the ladies, so it was a little tough drawing those for me this time around, but I think I got it after a little bit. My favorite part about the legs was trying to imagine where the muscular structure was on Mewtwo, like how those muscles actually work on a deeper level than the information that the character itself gives you. I also kept in mind the reflected light that I was going to get Keeping in mind reflected light was something that I learned early but didn't actually want to put in the effort to try and implement until later in my artist journey. But after seeing some really amazing work that had reflective light and rim lighting, which I'll show you later, that's when I started implementing it. And sometimes it takes you hearing something a few times before it actually sinks in and you realize, oh, this might actually help. Now this part, the stomach, I told you before, it's already awkward, so I spent a long time fussing with it, and then I'm pretty sure I just decided to scrap everything that I had done and start over because I just did not like the way it was looking. So I go in and I add an overlay to the tail, and I decided I just wanted it to be a little texture. So I add these like dots, trying to think of it as like a skin texture, but I kind of envisioned it being a little bit more, I don't know, glassy or something. So I really wanted to push the contrast of the highlight and the shadow, and so I added a little bit of a streaky overlay, and I just ended up happier with it after that. I wasn't happy with the overall contrast of the piece, so I wanted to add some more contrasting shadows. So I went in and just added a darker color where I thought it needed it, and I'm super glad I did because it definitely helps, in my opinion. So now I was going to do the line work, but I did basically the entire piece and decided I hated it. So I just end up getting rid of it and just going over it with a color that is slightly less dark than the black. So like a grayish color that is just not quite as dark as the black, to soften it a little bit but also make it still kind of obvious that there is line work there. And here I was planning out some room lighting but wasn't liking the color, so I decided to focus on the background. And I found a lot of really cool brushes, and I decided to use this cloud brush, which I thought was super pretty. And I did it in several colors just to add a little bit of depth. I wanted Mewtwo to look like he was flying in the air, hence the clouds. I also wanted there to be some weather happening, so I added some lightning bolts and desaturated the cloud layers. That way you could see the lightning bolts. I added some yellow and some darker blue in some areas, as well as some darker clouds to help it just have a little bit more of that contrast and give it a darker vibe. And then I messed with the lightness and darkness for a while. And I wanted Mewtwo to really pop on here, so I gave him a just halo of dark around him. And then I started focusing on his power ball. I originally wanted it to be just like lightning shooting out everywhere, but then I wasn't liking the way that was looking, so I actually decided to just scrap it and draw the power ball like on its own. If you guys are interested in this print, you can visit my website, chelseastudio.com. I have this one posted up there. For now, it's only as a digital download because I haven't actually ordered the prints yet, but you can, at the moment, order it as a digital download. And then I darkened the background even more and added a super bright purple rim light. And then I end up also adding a little bit of a glow effect around it just to make it look a little bit cooler. And here is the finished product. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I am so glad that you stuck around to the end. Go ahead and comment below which drawing so far is your favorite. And if you want to be part of that behind the scenes, you want to see what I've been doing in the consignment shop, check out my social media. And then if you'd like to see any of my work that I still have in stock, check out my website. As always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye!